This video was sponsored by Enhance, NeoWatt, A Better Road Planner, Elbilmek, Kempower and Bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? We're now at Elbilmek and this is a classic Ioniq, one of my favorite cars. But actually, Valdemar said that I purchased that Soul recently. It was just a little bit too fast. This car came 2 days too late because he managed to get a kaput classic Ioniq. It was undrivable. The onboard charger was kaput. And something else I don't remember, but he fixed it and it's drivable. But it has over 300,000 kilometers on the odometer. He did check the state of health via the, the old hotel thingy, which just checks the BMS, whatever, right? Well, okay. So he knows roughly how the battery is, but I'm gonna do the actual test, the deep test, and we'll see. Should I buy this car? Well, I should test it first before I decide to buy it or not. Okay, so it has seen its better days. Oh, is that a roost? Is that a roost? Yeah, Isabel is with me. Yeah. Okay, but let me just quickly check here. Okay, it doesn't have, maybe it doesn't have the most aerodynamic rims. It is a bit worn here and there. Let me see, how is the trunk? What a nice big trunk. Yeah, that's Isabel. Okay. First test. I requested from Valdemar to discharge it. It was at 100%. Discharge it down to around 90%, and then we do the charging test first. But let me show you guys here. The seat is kind of warm. Isabel, wait, Daddy gonna type video. Look here. Holy macaroni! What the heck happened here? Huh? What was it? The freaking Wolverine who drove this car? Shit! But okay, we are 93% now. We are charging up. Maybe I can turn off the car. Look here, 321,000 kilometers. That is proper distance driven. It claims 35 minutes to 100%. Well, I wonder if this is the highest mileage on the classic Ioniq. Yeah, maybe if you guys live near Yes Home, I can test your classic Ioniq. My method of doing this, but oh, interesting. It's a Tesla wallbox. We were getting 5 kilowatt from it like 5-10 minutes ago, and now it actually shows the same characteristics as that other Ioniq at 220k kilometers, which is that it doesn't charge flat 6 kilowatt or whatever it can charge, right? 200%. Oh, okay. So the other car had 22.5 kilowatt hour out of 26 when it was new. So here we might even have less because it's a higher mileage. That's basically what it brains down to. Any car I've tested, actually, the degradation is based on cycles or any kilometers. But also there are some other factors, yeah. But that's the main factor. The most important factor is the odometer, and then based on odometer, based on battery size, we can count number of cycles. So since this battery is 1/3 of a Tesla battery, it's almost as if this car has almost 1 million kilometers versus a Tesla battery, right? But you can see that the charger is kind of slow now. Okay, we have to come back in a little while to see how slow it charges towards 10. But already now we see that it's not at its prime anymore. This Ioniq has seen its better days. Uh-oh. Okay, I went inside. Elbilmek talked to the guys a bit. Well, actually, Valdemar is out driving the e-Golf. He's gonna do EO control and service on the e-Golf. And then why is Isabel with me? Well, because she's not 100% recovered. She was sick many days. She has 37.6 degrees Celsius fever. You big baby. Isabel, huh? Why can't you be with Valdemar? Huh? No? You don't like Valdemar? You like Valdemar. He's a nice guy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This ain't good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Valdemar knows the state of health reported by the auto. I'm going to test it. I don't want to know beforehand the state of health, but already now I can guess that it might have 15% degradation, or maybe 20. Okay, my guess is 15 to 20% degradation, only based on my gut feeling, and that it charges actually quite slow. So, oh shit. It claims that it's going to finish charging in half an hour. Really? This test will take some time, simply because it's going to take a while to charge it. Okay, now we wait. 95%. Yeah, okay. No, under normal circumstances, when the battery is not that degraded, maybe when the buffer is not that eaten up, we should get 5 kilowatt now, not 2 kilowatt. Uh-oh, at 96% is taking only 1.4 kilowatt, 1.3, uh-oh. Wait, let me see, 20 minutes? Really? Okay, so it might do some, I don't know, people claim that it does some balancing, calibration, whatever. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it just goes slower and slower now. And then what might happen is that suddenly, suddenly it goes to 97, 98, 99% quite quick, and then just 100%. Yeah, that's what's going to happen, right? So if I would guess, we might have only 20, 21 kilowatt hour left on this battery based on this. I just missed it. It was at 99% taking half kilowatt, and then doo-doo. So yeah, we are now at 100%. We're good to go to do the test. We are almost at Kløfta. Yeah, this is a bit unusual. We drive now towards Jessheim because the e-Golf has so much problems, well, no, some problems that needs to be fixed. So then I'm gonna drive this Ioniq back home, and then in a couple of days I go back to Valdemar once the e-Golf is finished. So that's why we end up here instead of the south loop. So look at this. We are roughly the same elevation as Lierskogen where we started, and we consume 133 watt-hour per kilometer. This is simply amazing. 4 degrees Celsius outside. Yeah, spring is in the air, but it's still kind of winter-ish. Wow. Okay, so I'm down to 69%. Wait, how far have I driven now? 61 kilometers. Okay, but the state of charge scale is not linear, so yeah, it's kind of hard to estimate anything until we are down to maybe 5%. Well, we're almost done with the test. We have 20 kilometers of range left, and we have done 148 kilometers. Very impressive. This classic Ioniq has more range than that sold with the replaced battery. Okay, it's simply because it's so efficient. Look here, 136 watt-hour per kilometer. But yeah, so this is what you have to be careful about when you have a classic Ioniq, is that once the state of charge drops to 5%, then you get this limp mode. You still have the power limit, possibly around 40-50 kilowatt, but the throttle becomes really sluggish. So I have to be careful now. I'm gonna aim for yes home, and hopefully we'll be there with 5%. Don't count on getting it to 0% with this car. Okay, so at the end now, you will see that the state of charge drops really fast. This is the part of the non-linear scale on the Korean car. Yeah, it's like 6.5%. Oh shit! Oh wait, I still have around 4 kilometers on the motorway here. I hope I can maintain some motorway speeds. Hopefully it's fairly flat here. 6%. Oh, the dreaded 5% turtle mode is coming. You see, power limit is still 71 kilowatts, but it just becomes very sluggish. 5.5. Okay, shit, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen on the motorway. Fortunately, not too much traffic yet. 2 in the afternoon. And I'm not even hammering it. 5%. I'm only going. Charge immediately. Power limited. Okay. Yeah, turtle mode is here. I'm only going at 90 kilometers per hour. Yeah, but you see, actually, the trick is that as long as you use cruise control, then the cruise control just maintains the speed for you. If you try to drive manually now, you'll feel like it's super sluggish. At least when I drove it last time, another car, I was not sure if I can maintain the speed, but okay, it bugs me. But you can, but oh shit, it drops so fast now, 4.5%. Oh wait, do I try to go past this? Okay, yeah, I feel it now, this is very sluggish. Okay, yeah, I'll overtake this truck. I wasn't planning on going that deep. Plus that I didn't bring protection. Oh shit, I did not bring protection. Okay, don't die. I hope the battery is in good shape, even though the car was undrivable. Okay, let's resume cruise control. Yeah, 59 kilowatts. Oh, low battery warning at 3.5%. Holy shit balls, it drops so fast towards the end here. Oh. I have no indicated range on the display yet anymore. 3%. We have a slight uphill before Remen and exit. I don't know if any classic Ioniq has died before 0% yet, but I don't want to be the first one to experience it. 2.5. Oh shit! What the heck, man? It dropped so fast towards the end. Oh shit! 2.5. Isabel is sleeping in the back seat here. I don't want to run out of juice. I have to call a tow truck and shit. Okay. Oh man. Normally I don't want to go that deep. I normally go to only 5%. Slight miscalculation, plus that over here it's a bit far between the exits, and also the exits are very slow turnaround points. So okay, ideally I should have gone to Ioniq Dal, back and forth there, but okay, I think we are safe now. We can just crawl around here in the slow zone. Oh shit. Yeah, I feel like the throttle. Oh shit! The throttle is quite sluggish, but you can demand 40 kilowatt if you dare to. Just have to push the throttle deeper than normal. What is it? Okay, it bugs me about power limited. Okay. This is usually as deep as I want to go. Okay, Remin is right over there. Fortunately, some downhill. 2%. Okay. You know, you want to feel like you're alive, right? You go deep with a Korean car, yeah, without protection. 1.5%. What the heck, man? We're going downhill. Oh, 2%. Okay. And also, they claim that the regen is set to maximum now. That's why the car feels sluggish. As soon as you let off the pedal a bit, it tries to regen as much as possible. Okay, we say, oh, here we are. Okay, finally. Okay, let me just use this stall here. Fortunately, in classic Ioniq, the charge port is on the left side with the right side, not the right side with the wrong side. And remember that the left side is where the driver's door is. That's why it is on the right side. Okay, 2%. Let me calculate some stuff here. Isabel, the little princess, is awake now. Okay, the final verdict. 135 watt-hour per kilometer multiplied by 157.9 kilometers, and then we can always discuss how much we have left. Okay, it was 2% to 1.5. I would count it as 1%. That means we have 21.5 kilowatt hour left. Okay, let me try to charge then. All right, we're getting 173 amp. Like always, and the voltage is a bit low. 57 kilowatt is gonna go up. But yeah, it seems like everything here is normal. We need to charge to around maybe 75% to see how it throttles. But at least the charging has not been compromised. All right, 71%. It's about to throttle. We can see 172 amps, 67 kilowatt. Wow. Yeah, it throttles usually at 72%. Or 70.5. There. There's a throttle. Wait, or I don't remember when is it supposed to throttle. Wait. Oh, this one goes longer. But wow, this is amazing. At least charging speed is amazing. Yeah, but it has degraded. Wait, this car seems to go Schnell until 77%, right? That's what I remember from the fresh Ioniqs back in the days. Oh no, I'll get 75%, slight throttle. Okay, there, okay. That is still very good. Okay, at 80% we're down to 47 kilowatt. And then the major throttle happens at 82%. Well, this is really strange because it looks like it's been camping at 81% for a long time now. It's also part of the non-linearity, but it's really strange. Well, it's about to throttle. Well, it's slowly throttling. But when am I gonna get? I'm not even hitting. There, 1.5. Yeah, oh yeah. Okay, Isabel. Yes. This is why I don't want to bring her with me, but I had no choice today. Yeah, so now it becomes quite energy dense towards the end. Seems like. Okay, whatever. I think I've seen enough now. Okay, according to the test today, we got 21.5 kilowatt hour out of this battery, and when it was new, it was 26 kilowatt hour. I tested lots of Ioniqs back then, and I only got 26 kilowatt hour. Many people blindly claims, without actually testing it, that it has 28 kilowatt hour net capacity. It was never ever confirmed by anyone. The 2 kilowatt hour extra could be that hidden buffer that we slowly have eaten up now as the car degrades. So yeah, that means 17.3% degradation. So it falls right on par with that other car I tested recently at 220k kilometers. It has slightly less degradation, but also less mileage. And this means 82.7% state of health. Valdemar, when he looked at his tool, the car, that was from the car, you know, he didn't make this up. The car reported 98% state of health. And even Valdemar said to me that that is highly unrealistic after 320k. I agree. The method I done here seems to be the most correct method, because you need to drive it. Some people claim that you can charge it. But yeah, when I did that degradation test with a Tesla, I also corrected for it, estimating that around 1 kilowatt hour we get lost versus how the car would estimate how much energy we have, right, in the Teslas. It was close enough because I had limited time. But yeah, so I mean, 320k, this car has done around 2,000 cycles, you know, equivalent cycles. So it's still a lot, right? So you have to expect that things will degrade. So my all-time favorite EV, the classic Ioniqs, they are getting old now, they get degraded. So, but should I buy this car? It has some weird squeaks when I drive it around the neighborhood here, just on low-speed roads. So I'm like, huh, what is something wrong with the undercarriage? And then Valdemar wants 50k NOK for this. I purchased the Soul for only 25k NOK. Yeah, so I don't know. The range here is better because you have well, better efficiency. But actually, I didn't test a Soul in these kind of weathers, so maybe the Soul will perform slightly better, and we can get, I don't know, close to the range in this car. So, and also the Soul has 26 kilowatt hour because it's relatively new, only 70k on the battery, new battery. So I feel like the Soul is a better buy. You have to be lucky and find those Souls. There was actually another Soul with a replaced battery on Finn not long ago, but it had a broken onboard charger. And then I asked Valdemar, hey, how much does it cost to repair the onboard charger? And said 17,000 NOK, around 1,500 euros. I was like, oh shit. But then after a couple of days, that car was sold. So those Souls with replaced batteries, they're actually a hidden gem. Yeah. But then do I want to buy this car? I have the Soul as the press car shuttle now, and it works great, and it charges actually equally fast as this classic Ioniq. So I think for now, I don't really need this Ioniq. Yeah, I already have the Soul. But eventually I might want like a family hauler around here, but we'll see. Maybe I'll try to borrow some other cars. Yeah. So classic Ioniq, man, still kind of holds up, but it will be more and more interesting to see. So if you guys have a classic Ioniq with high mileage, like here, 300k something, you know, and you live near Home, Oslo area, then let me know. Maybe you can send an email to me. You know the email, right? Everyone knows my email. Everyone knows where I live anyway. I have no other privacy. Yeah. And then we can test again. Yeah. Okay, anyway, I think that's going to be for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.